So if you've ever bought Backflow incense cones and the smoke just went up instead of down, don't worry. We've all been there. The truth is, not all cones are designed the same, and the difference between a good one and a bad one is huge. Here are a few I recommend that actually give you the smooth waterfall effect. For the first time using a Backflow incense, you'll probably want something to test the waters without committing too hard. And Mang Mall's 600 pieces Backflow incense cones should be where you land. The pack gives you enough cones to last you a very long time. Now, don't go thinking that with all these color variants, you're getting different scents, because these cones smell pretty much the same with a mild throw. Some of these cones are even stubborn to light. You might have to hold the flame there for a while before they actually catch. Just make sure you see smoke coming from the bottom hole before you set it in your burner, or the effect won't work. And speaking of the effect, you can only get it in completely still air with absolutely zero airflow, since the smoke will definitely disperse instead of flowing down if there's even the slightest draft. Each of these cones burn for about 10 minutes, so you'll need a couple of these if you're going through a longer session. One thing to keep in mind is that the smoke will leave residue in your burner, which you can easily clean with some rubbing alcohol. Now, the Mang Mall pack is solid for getting started, but if you actually want variety in your scents, that's where the Souk Backflow incense cones come in. This pack gives you up to 9 different scents, including sandalwood, tulip, apple, lemon, lavender, rose, jasmine, ocean, and green tea. And that waterfall effect actually works to create a relaxing atmosphere. I'll be honest with you, these cones take a minute to light, so give it some time. Hold the flame there and wait until you actually see smoke coming from the bottom before you set it down. As for the scent, it's rather mild and it won't fill your room like a regular incense stick would, which is great if you prefer a subtle in-the-background kind of scent. But if you want something with a strong throw that will fill your room, these aren't it. The cones are kind of small, about an inch, which means they burn for a short time, around 8 to 10 minutes. So just make sure you plan better if you're going for a longer session. So far, both of these are budget-friendly and get the job done. But if you want something that lights easier, burns longer, and actually smells premium, the Egyptian cotton wild berry backflow cones are a step up. These are the kind of cones you get when you want that fresh and clean laundry-like scent in your space. When you light it, you get a crisp, powdery smell with a subtle hint of sea breeze underneath, which is great if your goal was to get that refreshing scent. However, if you want something earthy, spiritual, or even woodsy, this will throw you off. Wild Berry makes their incense by hand dipping, and each cone is 2 inches, which is relatively bigger than your standard backflow cones. This extra size gives you around 20 to 23 minutes of burn time, instead of barely 10 minutes that you get with the other budget packs. And unlike the other two, these actually light easily, so you won't have to hold the flame there forever before it catches. What you're going to love about these is their clean burn that leaves no resin buildup to stain your burner. The waterfall effect also works beautifully because they have their hollow center properly designed. Smoke won't go the wrong direction as long as you keep it in still air.